What method do you use to get into your lucid state? Mushrooms, ayahuasca, natural? No mushrooms. Mushrooms don't allow me to sleep. Too much serotonin, so I don't sleep on mushrooms. I stay up all night. Never done ayahuasca. I have done DMT. Didn't sleep on that either. And natural. I do it naturally. What I did was I paid attention to how I fall asleep. I did that for months and months and months and months and months. And I did that until one day I fell asleep consciously. And at that point, I had mapped out the entire process. So you wake up, you go to sleep, you wake up about an hour or two earlier than you normally would. Usually when the sun is already coming up, you want to do it around that time because you'll have enough sunlight to start killing your melatonin, which will allow you to be sort of awake and sort of sleep, kind of like when you wake up 10 minutes before your alarm goes off and you're like, oh no, I'm gonna get that extra 10 minutes, and then you fall asleep, and then you have a dream that you overslept, and then you in the dream you're running around getting ready, and then your alarm clock goes off and wakes you back up. It's like that's the perfect state. That's the perfect state to have a lucid dream. When you have those false awakenings in that same realm, that's the perfect state because you got enough melatonin and serotonin so that you're awake and sleepy. So I'm going to talk about this in another video, but what you pretty much have to do is you have to set your eyes in a certain way. You have to set your eyes in the same place they would be at in order to initiate a dream, which is usually kind of up, like here, right? Whenever you ask somebody to imagine something or remember something, they're accessing the same portion in a sense, right? You ask them to remember something, they're like, Like I meant to ask the question first before I demonstrate it, but if I was to ask you, what does your refrigerator look like? You're going to be like, You're going to look up a little bit, right? So that's the realm where you kind of like activate imagination or whatever. When you sleep and you just lay there, if you just let your eyes go up to like here, not trying to roll them in the back of your head, but if you just look up a little bit, it just activates that portion of the dream thing. When that happens, what you have to do is not look at the imagery at all. You can't look directly at it. You're going to be tempted to, you will, over and over and over again. But what you really have to do is, like how I'm looking at you right now, but it don't look like I'm looking at you, right? I'm looking at you out my peripheral. I'm using my peripheral vision to do it. Or like I'm looking at you right now, right? But I'm not. This is that blank stare thing. You have to do this. This does something. This basically what this does is it opens the dream eye. It opens the third eye. The eye of imagination, it opens the third eye. So when you don't focus with these two eyes, this one eventually will kick in. Like how when your computer just sits there and then it falls asleep or whatever, it's like the exact same thing. You stop focusing with the two eyes. Like if I was to ask you to remember what your refrigerator looks like, you can do that with your eyes open. You can remember that refrigerator with your eyes open. You can be seeing your kitchen with your eyes open because you're looking with another eye, not these two. Same thing when you sleep. So when you have set your eyes in that way, and you're going to start to see the swirling imagery and all that stuff, and then out of the blue, an image is just going to pop up, boom, like that. When that happens, you're going to be like, oh shit, you're going to look directly at it, it's going to dissipate. After a couple times of that surprise and all that, you'll remember, I can't look at it. And then you'll stare off to the distance and you'll look at it in your peripheral. And as you're doing that, the image is going to expand. It starts off as a two-dimensional image, and then it starts to, there's movement within the image. And once there's movement in the image, and then it starts as hypnagogic imagery, which is like colorful swirls. Then there's going to be a pulsating, radiating, like white light in the middle. That is, for lack of better terms, that's you switching from one channel, this realm of receiving data, to the other realm where it's the eye only receiving data. You're switching over. That whiteness is basically like when you turn a channel and it's staticky until it gets clear. When you fine tune it, when you fine tune the channel, that's what's happening. You're turning over to that. You're going to see that pulsating light. In the midst of that light is the image. So the light, 2 minutes, damn. So it's going to come and go. It's going to come and go like that. And then eventually the image pops up and then it surrounds you like this if you don't look directly at it. Once it surrounds you, you can actually look directly at it because you're going to be inside of it. You're going to be able to directly interact with it, not just look at it. You'll be able to touch stuff, talk to people, do things like that. Fly, run fast, all that type of shit. You'll have solidified to step into that state. But I'm going to make a video on that in the future. That's kind of how it works and stuff.